el lugar santo.
But just a reminder, you can have Levites, priests, and high priest.
El levita, los sacerdotes y los sacerdotes más altos.
Inside the holy place, you had three things:
Aquí hay tres cosas.
the menorah, the table, and the
la
altar.
mesa y el altar.
Let's start with the menorah.
La menorá.
The menorah was made out of gold, and it does not have any cubits on it, so you don't know how high it stood or anything like that.
La menorá está hecho de oro y no tiene las medidas.
But it was
Sabes
made
que
out
tan alto es.
It was made in one piece.
Pero era hecho en un pedazo.
It had one center branch,
Nomás una parte central.
3 branches off of either side,
Tres de cada rama de cada centro.
a flower and an almond as the decoration on the branches,
Una flor y una almendra en los brazos.
7 oil lamps on the top,
7 lámparas de aceite arriba.
and this was the only source of light in the room.
Y esta era la única luz que estaba dentro del
The
cuarto.
priests have to continue to have the menorah keep burning
La menorá continuamente tenía que estar prendida
to give light for their work in here.
para poder tener luz aquí para
So
trabajar.
every morning and evening they fill it with oil, they clean it, they trim the wick, whatever needs to be done.
Cada mañana y la noche la llenaban de aceite o le cortaban el centro.
Now you'll see when we're walking through the tabernacle, you're always walking in the same direction.
Mientras usted estaba caminando en el tabernáculo, siempre va a ser en la misma dirección.
When you're walking to the Holy of Holies, and even when you enter, you're always walking towards the west.
Siempre va, cuando entra al lugar santísimo, siempre va a ir hacia el oriente, el oeste.
Yeah? And when you're leaving, you're always walking towards the east.
Y cuando sale, siempre va a ir al lado contrario.
The menorah was always against the southern wall of the holy place.
La menorá siempre estaba en el lugar sur.
Directly in front of it on the north was the table of showbread.
Enfrente siempre estaba la mesa de panes.
The table was made out of acacia wood.
La mesa estaba hecha de la madera de acacia.
It was covered with gold.
Estaba cubierta de oro.
It had 12 breads on it.
Tiene 12 panes.
If you came to someone's house for dinner,
Si usted llegaba a la casa de alguien para comer,
and there was a big table set up
había una mesa grande
by the host
por el huésped
with 12 chairs,
con 12 mesas,
12 plates and cups and spoons,
12 mesas, platos y cucharas.
what would you assume?
¿Y qué asumiera usted?
12 people are coming to eat today.
Que 12 personas van a llegar hoy.
Same idea here.
Es la misma idea aquí.
There are 12 visitors that are welcomed into this place.
Hay 12 visitantes que son bienvenidos en este lugar.
What is this place?
¿Y qué es este lugar santo?
The house of God,
La casa de Dios,
God's table,
la mesa de Dios.
and there are 12 people invited to eat from God's table.
Y hay 12 personas que están invitadas para comer la
There's
mesa de
one
Dios.
portion for every tribe.
Una porción por cada tribu.
God makes a covenant with all 12 tribes.
Dios hace una promesa por todas las 12 tribus.
He provides for all 12 tribes.
Les suple a todas las
He
12
gives
tribus.
inheritance to all
Les
12
da
tribes.
herencia a todas las tribus.
And as God's covenant people, they're welcomed into God's presence to eat from His table.
Y como el pueblo prometido de Dios son bienvenidos para venir a comer de la
There
mesa
is
de
a
pan.
type of fellowship, a type of communion that exists between God and His people.
Hay una comunión que existe entre Dios y el pueblo.
So every Sabbath,
Solo que cada sábado
the priests would enter into the holy place,
el sacerdote entraba al lugar santo
and on that day, the day of rest, they would eat in God's presence. They would eat from the table, they would eat the bread before God.
y comían del pan en la presencia de Dios.
Right? So that's the table.
Esa es la mesa.
Here we have the altar of incense.
Y ahí está el altar de
So you
incienso.
can just maybe walk over to the side.
Si se puede juntar un poco más a los lados.
The altar was made out of acacia wood.
Estaba hecha de madera de acacia.
Maybe if we just take a couple more steps back, because then everybody else can
No sé cómo lo veremos.
The altar was made out of acacia wood, covered with gold.
Le estaba hecha de acacia con cubierta de oro.
It's an altar, so it
Es
has
un
fire
altar.
in it.
Tiene lumbre.
This fire always has to be brought from the altar of sacrifice.
La lumbre siempre tiene que ser traída del altar del
The
sacrificio.
fire was brought over here at least twice a day, every morning and evening,
Mínimo 2 veces en la mañana y en la tarde
in order to light the incense.
para poder encender la incenso.
Okay? Do you know how a certain smell can really, in a way, take you to a certain place?
Sabe como un olor le puede llevar a un lugar o a cierto lugar.
Remind you of a certain holiday.
Le puede recordar de un día festivo.
Remind you of your grandparents'
Le
house,
puede recordar de la casa de los abuelos,
your favorite food.
de su favorita comida.
When you would smell this incense,
Cuando usted olía el incienso aquí,
this is the only place you
este
would
es el
ever
único
smell
lugar
it.
que usted olió cuando
God says don't use this incense any other place.
Dios decía no lo use este incienso en ningún otro
So when
lugar.
you smell this, what do you know and what are you reminded of?
Cuando olía este incienso y de qué le recordaba,
God's house.
de la casa de Dios.
And the stronger the smell is, the closer you are.
Entre más
here.
fuerte el olor, más cerca usted está.
Here we have the clothing that's described for the priest and the high priest.
Aquí está el vestuario para el sacerdote y el sacerdote, sumo sacerdote.
Both the priest and the high priest
Tanto el sacerdote y el sumo sacerdote
wore white hats,
tenían que usar sombrero blanco,
white tunics,
túnicas blancas,
white pants,
pantalones blancos,
colored sashes around their waists.
cintos de color en su cintura.
But in addition to this, the high priest would also wear a golden band on his forehead that says, Holy the Lord.
Pero más allá, el sumo sacerdote tenía que tener una banda dorada que decía
Santidad de Jehová.
Santo es el Señor.
Holiness belongs to God.
Santidad de Jehová.
Over his white clothing, he wore a blue robe.
Sobre eso usaba un manto azul.
Right? Over on the hem of the blue robe, there was a golden bell and pomegranate.
En las orillas está la granada y la campana.
Over his upper body, he wore the ephod.
Y arriba usaba el ephod.
Ephod is like a vest.
Es como un chaleco.
Okay? It had one stone on every shoulder.
Tenía una piedra en cada hombro.
Engraved onto the first stone were the first 6 names of the children of Israel according to their age.
En un lado estaban los nombres de los hijos de Israel de acuerdo a su edad.
Onto the second stone were the last 6 names of the
Y los
children of Israel
últimos
according
6
to
en
their
el
age.
otro lado.
So 12 names in total.
12 nombres
And then you
total.
also have 12 names on the breastplate.
Y luego 12 nombres en el
So this is the ephod.
Es el ephod
This is, and it's holding up the choshen, the breastplate.
y está deteniendo el
Pectoral.
pectoral.
Yeah? 12 stones, 12
Las
names.
12 tribus, 12 nombres.
Why does he wear this?
¿Por qué usa esto?
Before there was a tabernacle,
Antes que hubiera un tabernáculo,
was anybody sacrificing?
¿alguien estaba sacrificando?
Were there any sacrifices before there was a tabernacle?
¿Había sacrificios antes del tabernáculo?
You might remember that Cain and Abel sacrificed.
Que Caín y Abel sacrificaron.
Noah sacrificed.
Noé sacrificó.
Abraham sacrificed.
Abraham sacrificó.
Job.
Job sacrificó.
There were sacrifices before this all began.
Había sacrificios antes de que
What's
comenzara
a little
esto.
bit different about the tabernacle, though,
Lo que es un poquito diferente en el
is
tabernáculo
that this is all centralized at one person whose entire life responsibility it is to do it for the people.
que ahora está una persona centralizada que su trabajo es hacer eso.
What's the tabernacle?
¿Y qué es el tabernáculo?
House of God.
La casa de
Kind
Dios.
of like an embassy of heaven on earth.
Es como una embajada del cielo aquí en el
And here you
tierra.
have the ambassador
Y
of the
aquí tiene el
people
embajador hacia el pueblo
coming to meet with the God
para venirse a juntar con Dios,
to pay for their sin.
para pagar por sus pecados.
Because their crimes
Porque los crímenes,
are
los
actually
pecados,
against the judge of the universe.
porque están contra el juez del universo.
And he has to make payment for their
Y
sin.
tiene que ser pago por sus
It's the
pecados.
responsibility of the
La
high priest to
responsabilidad
make sure that the
del
children of
sumo
Israel
sacerdote,
are going in the direction of God.
que los hijos de Dios vayan en la dirección
That
hacia
they are
Dios.
aware of what sin
Que
is.
estén al tanto de que es el pecado.
And that they have atonement for their sin.
Y
That's
que
his
ellos
work.
tengan perdón por su pecado. Ese es su trabajo.
He's got some help,
Él tiene ayuda,
but it's his responsibility
pero
to
la
make sure that this
responsabilidad es
happens.
que suceda esto.
As the representative of the children of Israel,
Como representante del pueblo de Israel,
he would enter into the Holy of Holies
él entraba al lugar santísimo
once a year,
una vez al año,
Day of Atonement,
el día del
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, el día del perdón.
el día del perdón.
Yeah? On that day, in fact, in Hebrew, it's always called the Yom Kippur,
En hebreo se llama
Yom Kippur,
que
which means Day of Atonement. It's
dice el
actually
día del
plural,
perdón, que es plural,
because there are many sacrifices,
porque
many
hay muchos
atonements on that
sacrificios,
day.
muchos perdones en ese día,
But he enters into the Holy of Holies
pero él entra al lugar
with
santísimo
blood from 2 sacrifices.
con sangre de 2 sacrificios,
One was for his,
uno por él
one was for Israel.
y uno por Israel.
Which what does that show?
¿Y qué muestra eso?
That even though you're from the children of Israel,
Que aunque tú seas hijo de Israel,
or a Levi,
o levita,
or a priest,
o sacerdote,
or the high
o
priest,
sumo sacerdote,
a prophet, or a king,
profeta o un rey,
you still have sin.
como quiera tienes pecado.
Nobody is any different than the other person in the
Nadie
sense
es
of being
más diferente
separated
que
from
el
God
otro,
as a result of their sin.
excepto del el pecado los separa.
Even the holy high priest.
Aún el sumo
So
sacerdote,
before he does anything for anybody else,
antes que haga cualquier otra cosa,
his problem comes first.
su problema es viene primero.
Sacrifice for him and his family.
Hace sacrificio por él y su familia,
Sacrifice for the sins of Israel.
hace sacrificio por el pueblo de Israel.
Both of those are taken in.
Él es lo que entraba para adentro.
Before he enters, he has to light incense inside the Holy of Holies.
Antes de que entre, tiene que encender el incienso antes de entrar
Then
al
he
lugar
changes to his
santísimo.
white clothing.
Luego se cambia el lugar, al vestuario blanco.
He wears this clothing every day of the year,
Usa eso todos los días del año,
including the Day of Atonement.
incluyendo el día del perdón.
But not when he's inside. He
Pero
has
no
to
cuando
change
está
into the
dentro.
white, and then after he leaves, he changes back into this and continues on.
Cuando entra adentro se cambia la ropa blanca y cuando sale para afuera se pone su vestuario de nuevo.
If you read through it, you'll see that it says that these clothes were made for glory and for beauty.
Esta ropa fue hecha para gloria y para hermosura,
to show the importance of the position of being a high priest,
para enseñar la importancia del sumo
to show
sacerdote,
his responsibilities.
para mostrar sus
But he's
responsabilidades,
not to think of himself as a king.
pero no que se pensara que fuera rey,
He's supposed to be thinking of himself really as a servant of the people.
sino que se consideraba como un siervo del
So he
pueblo.
dresses with the simple white clothing.
Solo que se viste con un vestuario blanco simple,
No stones, no precious stones,
no piedras, nada hermoso,
no gold,
no oro,
no colors,
no colores,
just white clothing,
No más
simple
blanco.
clothing that's drenched in blood.
que está lleno de sangre.
And then he enters with that blood into the Holy of
Y
Holies.
entra con eso al lugar santísimo.
We'll continue from that point inside.
Y ahí seguiremos adelante.